Okey, menurut Puan Ju kita, kenapa ya dinamakan kembara fiksi? Bermaksudnya kembara dari satu tempat ke satu tempat. Dengan bersama dengan fiksi ya. Okey. So mana adik-adik yang dah beli air, marilah ke tengah situ dengan nanti. Okey. Jangan malu, jangan segan.
Nyedok dah datang dah.
Bagi yang tidak dapat hadir ke The Hills pada pagi ini, mungkin boleh suruh setidaknya buka sosial media pustaka. Jangan lupa follow, like dan kata nenek kami, subscribe. Nama dah subscribe. Okay, bukan subscribe. Okay, subscribe. Okay, kepada sosial media pustaka negeri Sarawak untuk menonton secara live. Okay, sesi kita pada pagi ini. Ni tahu ada parents ada di rumah. Pak, ada sidak fiksi launching buku baru begitu. Ni dapat bapak tu ngikut. Buka lah di Facebook kami orang Pak. Okay. Boleh suruh bapak ke mak ke nangga di telefon lah kelak. Pun ada yang berminat. Kami mau beli buku tu padangannya. Okay. Okay, nuju ke bala tek bisik datai pada pagi tu. Okay. Ada lupa ngau kami 3 bulan ni lah. Siapa tek dekat berjoget kat berlagu. Ni nemu lihat berlagu ngemawat lah. Okay. 3 bulan tu lah. Okay. Lebuh maya gema puisi. Pukul 3 lemai. Anang muai masa, anang muai jam cewa. Okay. Tahu ngau kami beritahu. Hari kedua ya kita tahu ngau Uncle Mawat, ianya Maxwell Franklin Saran bersama ngau orang bukai mega bisik di kangau kita, Mr. Halan Hashim, Sida Ari Sada Borneo, okey. Sada Borneo mun siapa yang ada nangga AXN, ada nangga Asia Got Talent, Sida tu apa nama yang berjaya ke separuh akhir pada tahun ni Arya. Kalau ada bertanya kalau campur-campur dah bahasa itu. Okey. Tanpa kita membuang masa lagi, kita akan bersama dengan tim daripada fiksi bagi pelancaran buku baru Second Afterlife by Michelle Grisham. Dengan penuh hormatnya saya menjemput Puan Ju untuk bersama kita pada pagi ini. Mempersilakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us for this very special session. My name is Julianne and I will be your host for the next hour. Okay. Today we are here to celebrate a remarkable achievement in the Malaysian literature, the launch of Second Afterlife by Michelle Grisham, who is the recent winner of the 4th Fiksi Novel Malaysian Novel Contest. First, I would like to maybe introduce. Together with me today is Miss Michelle Grisham, who is the author of the book. And I would also like to introduce a bit about the book to you. Okay, Second Afterlife is a young adult fantasy romance that promises to sweep readers into a world that is once magical, emotional, and deeply relatable. It explores love, loss, and self-discoveries, which are themes that resonate especially with young readers and also to all of us. And at the heart of this story is the creator, Miss Michelle Gwinsome. She is a new, fresh, and powerful voice in our literary scene. And I believe that winning the contest, the Fixie novel writing contest, is not a small feat for her, because it's a recognition of not just talent, but also vision, dedication, and the ability to capture hearts through storytelling. Okay, over the course of this session, we'll get to know Miss Michelle better, hear about her inspiration, and take a closer look at the journey that brought Second Afterlife to life. We also have time for questions, so if you have any questions, we'll have some slot at the end for you to ask. Okay, so without further ado, please join me in giving a warm welcome to the author of Second Afterlife, Michelle Gwinsome. Okay, thank you for being here with us today. How are you?
Yeah. Hello. 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 Good morning, guys. I'm fine this morning. Just a little nervous, but otherwise okay.
Is this your first time, talking as an author to the general public?
Yeah, it is my first time because this is my debut novel as well. So whatever happens, I'm just proud to be here.
You should. Okay, maybe you can first introduce yourself, about your background a bit, so that we will know you better.
Okay, so to everyone who is here, I would like to say that the one thing you should know about me is I'm a proud Sarawakian. Okay, and this I think is one of the first books that has Kuching as its backdrop. Okay, guys. So if you want to read something that has Kuching in the story, you can buy this book. Okay, because this is a lot of influences from Kuching as well as everywhere from around Sarawak and also our multicultural race in Sarawak.
Sarawak pride, we call that. Okay, and what about your share a bit of your journey as a writer? When did you get started, and how does it fall out to you?
So if you're interested, okay. So my journey as a writer started very early on. I think I knew I wanted to be a writer since I was in primary school. And that's also when I started writing, because at the time I think I was into anime at the time. But then at the same time, you know how people nowadays, they write fan fiction, right? So I thought, oh, I want the character to do this instead. I want the character to do that instead. So because of that, I started writing my own stories with set characters. But then after a while, I started making up my own characters, because back then I think I wrote a lot of paranormal stories. So I think I wrote a lot of my stories took place in like graveyards and like haunted houses. So this one is actually look back at my roots, but also something new, because as a child I swore I would never write romance. So why is my book full of romance?
But I guess that one is like part and parcel of life. You cannot separate romance from, when you're talking about life, you definitely have to, there will always be the element of romance. Okay? And what inspired you to start writing in the first place? Was it like family influence, or it's just something you do, like you feel like it makes you happy to do so?
I can't say there's anyone who influenced me. I can just say that I was a very quiet and shy girl, and this was the one thing where I could think whatever I want and I could put it on paper, and it could be real. And it's also quite a cheap hobby when you think about it. Sebab, you have like the notebook, the school notebooks, the one you get from the koperasi, you get one of that, you have one pencil and you're set already. So it just depends on your imagination. So that's why I think it was so easy for me, although I shouldn't do it in class, but I always do it in class because, during class, you're always so sleepy, right? During class is when I get my best idea.
Has your teachers ever noticed your talent before?
My
Maybe your friends?
teachers, I think I have joined the Nilam competition before. So unfortunately, I didn't make it to represent Sarawak, but I did go and represent my school. So I think from there, I think my teachers do recognize it, and my English teachers especially, they usually encourage it because we have Bulan Bahasa every February back then. So I always join the story writing competition, BM, BI, I joined both. So I think I've won first place for English and then second place for BM during my last year in school. So before that I did win, but not like first or second place.
Are you like, when you go to university, do you study writing or something else?
During university, I didn't think to take creative writing courses. I think because I have written for so long that I think it was better for me to just find my own style. So I thought I should find something that maybe supplements that one, that maybe could help push, my understanding and what I needed to know for writing. So anthropology, international relations.
So what did you study in university?
International relations.
That's perfect. It's amazing. Okay, about this second afterlife book, did you start writing it after the contest was announced, or was it you have always have ideas about it and you see that the contest is something that, oh, I should send it here, I should send my story to this competition, or was it you started because you saw that there's a contest and you decided to join?
Actually, I think all writers can relate to me that they always have a work in progress. They always have an idea at the back, and this story actually started like that. This story was, I got the idea in 2016 actually, not for a very happy reason. It's mainly because my grandfather passed away that year from cancer himself. So I thought, what if there's another life after this? Not like heaven or hell, but somewhere where you can take a break before you go, to the beyond. So it started in 2016, and then it was drafted already in my notebook, but I never touched it until I saw the competition advert. I think it was around 4 months until the deadline, and then I started writing 4 months before the deadline.
Okay, so what is this book in your own words? You tell us.
In my own words, I think that this book is about grief mainly. It's also about acceptance, and it's in the title itself, Second Afterlife, so it's about second chances as well. So imagine that you've just lost someone, but you get to communicate with them for just a little bit longer in your afterlife. And it's also mainly because I think if you see the blurb behind, soulmates, jodoh, and tawing. Tawing is Iban for your significant other or your sayang lah. So when you go into uni at that time, it's already at the time where your mother is like pressuring you to find a tawing, right? So I thought, why do certain people find theirs more faster than others, right? So I was like, what if you already have your soulmate, but your soulmate has, very sadly passed on. So because of that, you are still connected, but he or she is just not here. So that's the main premise of the entire book.
Okay. How long did it take for you to write this book?
Like I said, from the moment I think I saw it on the Commonwealth Creatives website. I think it took me like 4 months, and I think I submitted around 1 minute before the deadline. Actually, I was still editing. I was still wanted to edit, but I was like, you know what? If it's not for me, at least I try. Maybe that's next year. I thought so. I just send it, and then at the end, there's still some unedited parts, like notes that I forgot to delete.
But I guess your story is good enough that the judges think that it's worth to be called the winner of this contest, because if many might not know that the first 3 winners of this contest, they are all crime crime dramas. Sorry, so to have someone write about something that is different or something that is not crime is quite refreshing actually, because we need more locally written English romance, horror, supernatural, especially for young adults reader.
I actually wanted to submit another work for this one, but I saw the word limit was like 70K.
I think it was 50 to 60,000.
The other one had 100K, but that one is straight fantasy lah. It's about Kuching superstition, so like our urban legend in Kuching.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. You think that you might, publish that one?
I don't know, because that one is a trilogy. So the first one is based on like primary school urban legend, like the ghost stories you tell to people, yeah. And then the second one is based on sekolah menengah, and then the third one is based on university.
I think that one is an interesting concept. That's a
Yeah,
really interesting concept.
I think anyone from Kuching should know these urban legends. It's quite famous here.
Something that we, hear back in school throughout.
Yeah. That's why I want to write about that.
Okay. So you mentioned that the story started after the idea of the story started after your grandfather passed away. Are there any other personal experience that made it way into your book?
I think there always is. You know how in a friend group, usually, there's always someone who's always in a relationship, someone who's on, off, on, off. I was always the one who wasn't in a relationship. So that's why I wonder, like, why is it so easy for other people to get, a partner, but it's not easy for me, So in my mind, this is kind of like fantasy, maybe he's out there, maybe he's not. But what if I can't find him because he appeared in my dream already? Because one of the ways in this book is that they have, like, if you die before your time goes to your soulmate. And one of the ways of doing it is meeting through dreams, so that you can get to know each other, and then the time flows naturally, right? So, like, what if I already met my soulmate actually through my dreams?
That's interesting. Are there any deleted chapters, or like when you first started the book, you imagined that the ending would be like this, but it turns out different?
I think I wrote the ending first, and I was sure that I wasn't gonna change the ending. However, if you've seen, or if you wanted to read the book, and if you see the first chapter, where is it? Where is it? Oh, yeah. That's the first chapter. It's not even half a page. The original first chapter was 10 pages.
And why did you cut it short?
Because I think, this story focuses on grief, right? So I thought, maybe rather than just, wishy-washy, like benda-benda yang tak patut. So I think it should just focus on the moment this character dies. Like usually when a character dies is the end of the story, right? But for my book, when the character dies, is the beginning of the story because you get a second chance at life. And also she gets to meet her soulmate, so it's a win-win, I think, for everyone.
Um, why do you think that people should read this, and why does it matter, especially because the characters are young, right? So do you think that it will give some insights for young people? What they can learn from it?
Okay. I'll be very honest. I wrote this book with young people in mind, with Gen Z in mind. So that's why the chapter started out very short because, if it was me, I wouldn't want to read something that was very long at the very beginning because you haven't gotten to know the characters yet. So I think it's important for you to know the characters because, as you said, it's a very relatable story. So when it's relatable, I hope that anyone who is like Gen Z and younger, when they read this story, they look at the characters and they say, oh, that could be me, especially if you're from Kuching or if you're from Sarawak, because there's a lot of elements from Sarawak in this book that you'll see, oh, I could be her, I could be him as well. And also, like with Charlie, he doesn't live a very privileged life. He lives in like a small flat and then he works at a 24-hour supermarket, and he has to help his mother a lot. Yeah, and that's one of the ways that he struggles. But at the same time, there's Leah who struggles with guilt as well. Sometimes we feel like we have too much, so that is also quite relatable as well. So I hope if anyone who is young who is reading this, I hope they relate to the struggles of the protagonists, of the two main characters, but as well as they can get healing from the story that is being told as well.
Can you see like you continuing, writing books in this theme or with any of these characters in the future?
I think if I started writing around over 20 years now, I think I found my style, and I think this is kind of my style. It has hope, it has romance, but at the same time, it also has fantasy and also paranormal elements. And
Which you really like.
yeah, I also love magical realism. So even like right now, we could have magic around us, so something like that. I think I will go forward in the future. And this one, I already have something planned for one of the side characters in this.
So kind of
in
a
this book.
spin-off.
Yes, a spin-off. And then there's another spin-off which relates to this book, but it's instead of the afterlife, I would love to write about other dimensions.
Okay. So this is the first book that you have published, right? So have you ever tried to get your work published before with probably other publishers?
Other publishers, no, because I always had the impression that my novels weren't good enough. But I did try with short stories, but the competition was pretty fierce. I think it was like 10,000 submissions or something. So every year it was like rejection, rejection, rejection. So I entered this competition expecting not to win.
Not expecting to win.
No.
But it was where were you when the results come out, and what were you doing then?
I think what I remember most was being shortlisted, I think. That time, I think it was Gawai, I think. It came out during Gawai, and I was like eating durian with my family. Because my uncle always buys like a whole whole
big basket.
lorry
Yeah.
of durian. So we were eating durian at the time, and then I got this notification. So from Buku Fiksi, why are they tagging me in here? And I look, oh,
But when the winner announcement was made, where were you?
I was actually writing at home because I thought the announcement should have come the day before, right? So I was waiting for it. It didn't come. And then the next day I was like, oh, maybe I didn't win because they didn't tag me, right? Next morning I woke up, why is Buku Fiksi following me? I was like, what is this? I didn't have my notifications on. My email was silent. And then around like, I think Encik Ame contacted me. Then I was like, wait, why are you contacting me?
So it does feel like surreal, right?
Yeah, so surreal.
But and what are the response of your friends and family?
I don't know if they believed in me as much as I believe in myself, but I think since secondary school I say, you better get my signature now because one day it's going to be so difficult to get my signature. So I guess I had the confidence. I don't know if my friends believed in me, but one of my oldest friends is there. Yes. So they already know that I liked writing. I don't think they thought that I would actually go for it. You know, I didn't think I could actually do it, but you know.
That's good. I think that's such a a huge win, because for someone who loves writing, being published is one of the biggest milestone that you can ever achieve.
Especially traditional publishing is so difficult. Since I won, a lot of people ask me, how do you do it and stuff like that.
And what did you tell them?
I think I told them to just write because after they asked me how, they told me their ideas. Like, is it okay or not? Like, what can you do to like improve it? Is this going to cut it in the publishing industry? I told them just to write it because if you don't write the first draft, I can't really help you because I don't know where because my style is different, maybe your style is different. And then I told them, you write until you find your style, like your niche. Like for me, it's the normal plus the magical.
Okay, so are you're anything brewing on your next project, for your next project? Not yet. But I think I saw it on your social media that you have been writing something, right?
Yeah, I think the one that you saw is basically romance. I think it is, one of it is full romance. That one is also planned to be a trilogy about three brothers. So book 1, book 2, book 3. Brother 1, brother 2, brother 3. And then there's another one which I say I like to play around with, like in this book I play around with the afterlife. Next book maybe I'll play around with different dimensions. So if you ever see on my social media about the mirror creator, it's about that. And the basis of it comes from, oh, what if I found you in every lifetime? So basically, in every universe, we end up together, but we're like different names, different personality. But we always end up together, and that's what keeps the mirror together. So if, say, a certain event doesn't come to pass, the mirror will crack. And when the mirror cracks completely, the universe is destroyed.
Okay. Have you ever had like writer's block throughout your writing journey?
I think if you're a writer, I think you cannot lari from writer's block, you know, but I think you find ways. I think with writer's block, macam mana? With writer's block, I think even writing this one, I didn't start writing this because I don't know where it was going to go until I saw Fiksi punya at competition. Because I was always like, oh, this book is going, I knew this book was going to be one of the books that I published, but I was like, yeah, but it doesn't sound finished yet, and I don't know what to do about it. And then it's like, because I saw the theme was you guys didn't want any criminal theme. So I was like, okay, maybe I can try this one, but I don't want it to be full romance as well. I say because I wanted to appeal to a lot of different audiences at the same time. So I was like, what if I added, you know, this story with this other story? So basically, the main story is about these two soulmates, and then the second story is about murder, actually, because there's a murder in this book as well.
But it's not the main theme then. Yeah.
No.
Okay, so you also mentioned writing in Bahasa Melayu. Which one do you think is easier, writing in English or in Bahasa Melayu? And why?
I think I'm just so used to writing in English. I think probably at this time, English is easier. But I would love to go into Malay. I think it's been some time since I've written in Malay. And the language is very beautiful for Malay, you know. But I think I need to polish up a bit. And I've been reading Malay books recently as well. And also, you know, I have my own collection of fixie books at home. You know, they are more, how do you say it, more accessible and more like fun to read. So maybe someday I'll write in BM.
And who's your favorite author, your current favorite author or favorite book? And yeah.
I think you can't really ask a reader who their favorite author is because they're going to name a few. I
You're
think.
like your current, something that you're currently reading maybe?
I'm a mood reader, so I'm reading 5 books at once right now. But I think if you ask me my favorite author, I think it's going to be Holly Jackson or Hanya Yanagihara. Yeah, so very book talk centric authors.
But I guess, I mean, I think like, okay, what do you think, now that you mentioned book talk, what do you think book talk contributes to, you know, the reading and also writing culture, especially among young people?
I think there's a lot of discourse regarding this, where a lot of just some people who think that book talk brings down publishing, traditional publishing. I don't think so. I think it opens up an opportunity for people, you know, writers who want to be authors to learn, oh, this is how you do it, okay. Because I went into this blind. I had nobody to teach me. I had nobody I could ask. Yeah, so if you are in book talk, you'll see also author talk. So it's where author exchange ideas, and like authors like me, like I connect with authors from like the US, the UK, and from other countries as well. I think it's a good place for writers and authors in general to ask questions and to get help as well. And for readers, I think book talk is quite good because I don't think you should put down like silly romances or smut, because reading is reading, you know, and it just, if it's, you know, if it makes you forget about your troubles for a little while, that's good enough, I think, because I know a lot of people have a lot of thoughts going through their head. Same with me, I'm an overthinker, so I think, you know, hopefully by reading the books that are on book talk, you know, people could, you know, they could forget about their problems. And it's the same with my book as well. I wrote with that in mind. Like if you read this and you cry, good, then you're crying with me. If you read this and you relate to it, then good, because then you are jumping into this world and forgetting about your problems for a little while.
Okay, what else? Okay, if your younger self could read this book, what do you think she would feel about it? Or like, you know, would she scream like in disbelief, or, you know, deep down you've always known that one day you will become a published author?
Even though I believe I would become a published author, I think I still didn't let myself fully believe until I actually published this book. Okay, but ever since I published this, I've thought about what my younger self would think, and I thought about it a lot because I think she would be first shocked and happy, but also shocked in the way that why is she writing romance? She vowed she would never write romance. I once wrote a story about a haunted orange, like the buah orange. So why is she writing about romance?
But I guess that one is like the process of, growing up and discovering yourself, right? Okay. What else? Okay, like anything funny or unexpected that happens while writing this book? An experience that you will never forget. Like I know this one author, he likes writing like horror stories, and he started getting, haunted himself while, and that adds to the book, with the work that he's working on. So, do you have any experience like that?
Okay, I think why I started writing this kind of books and why my younger self was like no to romance but yes to paranormal, supernatural and fantasy is because as a child I used to be able to see, and then as I got older I got a lot of like dreams which actually came through, and I think when I was in uni I still could see and I could feel and I could hear. Nowadays I think because I'm too tired I rarely see any, but because of that I wrote this because how do you say it, because it happened to me. Yeah.
And you know how it feels,
Yes.
yeah, to be able to see and hear.
I
So
think
that the experience doesn't scare you or
I think
affect you in
I'm
any
so
way.
used to it, I think I just channel into my writing. The other book that I wanted to submit, the 100K one, is solely about that. It's about this family who owns the kopitiam with a side business of helping the dead.
So, if anybody have questions for Michelle or about, anything about her journey as a writer or about this book, you can always raise your hand and I will pass you the mic so you can ask the questions to her. Okay? Okay. What scene comes easiest for you to write in this book? Remember.
I think the scenes I enjoyed writing the most was between Leah and Charlie. Oh no, wait. Leah and her friends actually. Yeah, Leah and her friends.
And why is that so?
Because as complicated as Leah and Charlie's relationship is, Leah and her friends have a more complicated relationship, let's just say. I think as friends, not all of our friends see every side of us. So it's the same with Leah's friend as well. She's in a friend group, but she's most closest to Dia. But at the same time, while she was at her deathbed, it would have been nice if, all of them just showed up for once, because then she'll be gone. They don't need to show up for her anymore. So I think that helps a lot. I think in healing myself as well. I hope it helps a lot of people, readers especially. When they read this, they're like, oh, actually I'm not alone in thinking this. And it's kind of valid because sometimes in a group you're like, okay, maybe I'm not doing enough for them, so that's why they're not doing a lot for me, right? So maybe in that way, it's like saying like your feelings are valid. Sometimes you feel left out. Sometimes you feel like you're being left alone in like your friend group is actually quite valid.
It's also explores the theme of friendship, 2. Alright. Okay. What kind of reaction from a reader would make you the happiest? Like, have you ever had a reader, text you or send you a message saying that they really love your book so far?
So far, yeah, I think there's one review that said like the code switching between this book is actually very smooth, and I think that makes me happy. I think as a writer, you hope that it's not too awkward, like, oh, I hope that when I switch from this language to this language, it's not too like jarring, and I think that makes me happy because I'm, as well as a proud Sarawakian, I'm also a proud Iban girl. So I would love to put in more of the Iban language into my books after this.
And like, what make you choose like to put Kuching as the setting and to include like Iban language dialogues in the book? I mean, what was the motivation, or why do you think you need to include this in the book?
I think that's the easiest to answer. I think because I wanted to see, someone who represented me. So hopefully through this book, if there are other people who read this book who are like from Sarawak, or if they're Iban, or if they're Dayak, they look at this and they say, instead of saying, no, really, I cannot, they will think, oh, if she can do it, why can't I do it? And then also, when we grow up, right, reading, whether it's BI or BM, usually a lot of the settings is in, West Malaysia, or it's in Sabah, usually. But I haven't seen yet where Kuching is the main focus of it. And I was like, I always walk around Waterfront. I always walk around this area, and I was like, there's so many interesting things in Kuching. Why nobody writing about it? Especially outside there. I used to walk, I did walk outside there being, a tourist in my own state, right, in my own city, and I noticed that our manhole covers has cats on it. I was like, this is an interesting tidbit. Why is nobody saying, writing about this, Because Kuching is known as Cat City. So I was like, just to make it more fun, I call it Cat City instead of Kuching. I call it Cat City. Okay, so that's that charm to our Cat City. Like, we have a lot of culture, we have a lot of languages that we speak here as well. So I wanted to introduce that, and like I said, if it's not Dayak or Iban, it's a Sarawakian. If like she can do it, why can't I?
Perfect. I think I can relate to you because when I wrote my first book years ago, the main setting was actually somewhere in Semenanjung, but when I added a twist and included Kelantan and Sarawak. Kelantan, because my book has 2 authors. It's me and another co-author. And the co-author was from Kelantan. So I added that part, and then the Sarawak part is on my part, so that just to introduce Kuching. Because before that, I very rarely see Kuching being, placed as a setting or a main setting for the book.
Because I think why I decided in this format with Gen Z in mind, I wanted it to be first and foremost fun and accessible. Because sometimes when you're a bit too serious, people will take you seriously. Yeah, and then it's not going to be lighthearted anymore. If it's lighthearted like this, hopefully people will be like, oh, so Kuching is actually quite fun. And also, there's this language in Kuching, like the Kadazan or Bajau in Sabah. So there's this language in Kuching, in Sarawak, like Iban. What is this language? Something like that. I want people to know about Kuching, about Sarawak.
Yeah, and I think also attracts local readers, so that they see something that they can relate to, right? Yeah. Okay, so I think we are nearing the end of our session. maybe one or two more questions. Do you have like any hopes for this second afterlife book? Like maybe you want to see it being adapted into maybe a series or being translated into other language?
I think this book already surpassed what I thought it would be. I didn't think it would get picked into the short list because I saw all the other titles. I was like, they're all very interesting. Actually, some of them were actually more interesting than mine. I was like, oh, that it probably won't get picked, but at least I try. Maybe next year, right? But if I can rework this book, translate it, maybe get it into like a wider audience, and hopefully someday maybe a movie, then it will be actually quite a dream come true.
And if it's turned into a movie, can you picture who's going to, you know, be the main characters?
I don't know who is going to be the main character, but there's one prerequisite I want is it has to be a Sarawakian actor, actress, or someone who has a Sarawakian background.
That's good. That's very interesting. All right. Any of you have questions for Michelle before we end this session? You want to ask her? Any question? Come on.
Okay. Hi, I'm Liu Xiu Ying. I am Michelle's friend, and my question is, do you write every day or only when the inspiration comes?
Is that the only question, or you have? Okay, thank you. So, do you write every day or only when inspiration strikes?
Okay, thank you, Ing. At least ada soalan, no? But I try to write every day. So, like I said, I have so many works in progress, I kind of jump. So if I don't feel like supernatural things today, I don't feel like fantasy things today, I'll write romance. If I don't feel like romance, I write supernatural things. I write also like science fiction, like I said, other dimensions, which hopefully will become the next book lah. But I try to write every day. But if I memang tak boleh, then I read. I read until I boleh. That's one of the ways to counter writer's block also.
Do you think it's like difficult to keep track of the stories in your head? Like, because you see, today you might write something like a different story, tomorrow you might jump to a different story. So is it difficult to keep the story straight in your head, or do you already have a system for it?
Like I said, I also read 5 different books at the same time, I think. So my brain is used to chaos, so I do keep track of the characters, especially I have a book that is a writer's notebook, so I keep everything there. I'm sorry, but I keep getting distracted. Are they from SMK Jalan Arang?
Are you guys
Yeah.
from SMK Jalan Arang?
Yes. I used to go to SMK Jalan Arang. Yeah.
So maybe you have, something to say to your juniors,
I saw
the alma mater.
I saw the pengawas punya baju. She used to be a pengawas. So I saw the baju, I was like, is that SMK Jalan Arang? Oh my God.
So you have something you want to say? Yeah. You guys should be proud, Your senior is now a published author. You guys should get her book. This is not a small feat, This is something really big.
I have question.
And maybe one of you are interested to become a writer one day.
Any
Yes.
questions?
Uh, from 2009 to 2013, long time ago.
Which class?
Class.
Which class?
Class. From Form 1 to Form 3 is Edmonton, and then from Form 4, Form 5 is Etom.
Oh, yeah.
Who's your
Yeah,
favorite
yeah,
teacher?
because I was teaching there since 2009 until now. So,
So why does this group look so familiar? And then I saw the SMK Jalan Arang logo, and then the necktie, and then the pengawas uniform. I was like, is that?
yes, yes. Are you a writer now?
Yes, I'm a
Me
writer.
too. Yeah,
She's also a Sarawakian pride now.
yeah. Thank you to know you. Because it's very hard for me as a teacher to recognize ex-student. Actually, you are the ex-student. I think you know me, but I can't remember your face. Sorry for that, huh? I'm Chico Bennett.
Yeah, but I don't think you've ever taught my class.
No. Lima Atom. Are you from 5 Atom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Right. Okay, that's a very interesting, fact to know.
I don't expect it as well, because I was looking at them like.
Okay, so like you have anything else before we end this session? You have anything to say to people who is yet to read or buy your book?
I think if you are here and you are from Sarawak, and if you haven't bought this book, I think you should, because especially if you read the book, there's a lot of references to Sarawak, our urban legend, our culture, and also as well as SMK Jalan Arang. I think it's inside there as well. So if you will buy this book, and if you reach out to me, I might sign it for you if you want.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Michelle, for your sharing today. We really appreciate having you. And we hope that your career as a writer will go further and you will release more books in the future. Thank you so much. So thank you also for everybody who stayed and listened to our session today. This book, Second Afterlife, is also available at Kembara Fiksi booth number 6. Yeah. The book is on sale for 28 ringgit, but if you have the voucher, we can give you a discount. And you can also get Michelle to sign the book for you. So please, you get the books and enjoy reading the stories that Michelle has created for all of us. So thank you.
Excuse me one more time. Michelle,
sure.
can we have a picture for you?
Sure.
Okay, with you
Sure.
as the student.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can have,
Since you were my accident, okay?
I think you guys can like take pictures here on the stage together with Michelle. Yeah. Come. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Thank you.
wabarakatuh.
Okey, itu dia tadi satu sesi yang sangat memberikan inspirasi ya kepada adik-adik kita dan kepada tuan-tuan dan perempuan yang ada pada hari ini. Okey, terima kasih kepada Miss Michelle dan Puan Ju daripada Fiksi, dan jangan lupa dapatkan karya terbaru Fiksi tersebut di booth Fiksi kita ya. Okey. bagi pengunjung yang baru hadir ke Sarawak Book Fair kita, ini adalah hari yang kelima ya. Anda bersama dengan kami. Jangan lupa untuk menyertai aktiviti-aktiviti yang kita adakan di The Hills pada hari ini. Pelbagai potongan dan diskaun yang menarik di booth-booth buku yang ada. Silalah lawat ya. Ambil peluang ini. Bukan selalu kita ada diskaun, no. Okay.
Tersergam indah megah, menjadi kebanggaan kita, bukti wawasan dicita, maklumat dan pengetahuan, penuh terhimpun harta ilmu untuk kita terokan. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, wadah ilmu untuk semua, bersama kita manfaatkannya. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, berteknologi dan berusaha, berkhidmat ikhlas untuk kita. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. Tersergam indah megah, menjadi kebanggaan kita, bukti wawasan dicita, maklumat dan pengetahuan, penuh terhimpun harta ilmu untuk kita taruhkan. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, wadah ilmu untuk semua, bersama kita manfaatkannya. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, berteknologi dan berusaha, berkhidmat ikhlas untuk kita. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak.